Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something that I've personally struggled with. And if you're watching this video, chances are you might be struggling with it too. We're talking about self-love. More specifically, why no one can love you better than you can, and how searching for love outside yourself often leads to heartbreak. Let me start by sharing my own story. Pause for dramatic effect. For years, I was convinced that happiness depended on finding someone else to complete me. Whether it was friends, family, or romantic partners, I kept looking outward, hoping they would fill some void inside me. Does any of this sound familiar? Raise your hand or type yes in the comments, because I know I'm not alone here. 1. The empty search. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself chasing validation from others? Maybe it's liking your social media posts, complimenting your work, or saying those 3 magic words. I love you. But what happens when they don't show up? When they disappoint you? Or worse, when they leave? Here's the truth. When you rely on external sources for love, you set yourself up for pain. Why? Because people are human. They make mistakes. They change. And sometimes they simply aren't capable of giving us what we need. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like you were bending over backward to please someone else, only to end up feeling empty afterward. What did that feel like? Share your experience in the comments. Was it worth it? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, staring at your reflection. Now imagine placing all your hopes, dreams, and sense of worth into another person's hands. You give them everything, your laughter, your tears, your secrets, your soul. And then one day, they drop it. All of it. Shattered on the floor. That's what happens when we look outside ourselves for love. We tie our self-worth to someone else's approval, and when they inevitably fall short, as all humans do, we crumble. Now pause for a moment. Think about a time when you gave more than you received in a relationship. Did it leave you drained, resentful, lonely even though you weren't physically alone? Write down your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it together. 2. My story of heartbreak. I remember being in a relationship where I gave everything, my time, energy, emotions, all while ignoring my own needs. I thought, if I just try harder, maybe they'll see how much I care. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. They left anyway. And guess what? I was devastated. Not just because of them, but because I realized I had abandoned myself along the way. That moment hit me hard. I looked in the mirror one day and barely recognized the person staring back at me. Who was I? Where had my confidence gone? My joy? My spark? That's when I realized something profound. If I couldn't love me, how could I expect anyone else to? Let me take you through that period of my life. Picture this. Late nights crying myself to sleep, replaying every conversation, wondering what I did wrong. Days spent scrolling through old photos, trying to piece together where things went off track. I stopped taking care of myself, neglecting meals, skipping workouts, isolating from friends who cared about me. Sound familiar? But here's the kicker. It wasn't their fault. Sure, they made mistakes, but the real problem was my inability to stand firm in my own worth. I allowed their actions to define me instead of defining myself. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped to think about who you are outside of your relationships? Outside of what other people think of you? Take a second right now. Pause the video if you need to, and write down one thing you genuinely love about yourself. Go ahead. I'll wait. 3. The power of self-love. Self-love isn't selfish. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about recognizing your worth and treating yourself with kindness, respect, and compassion. Think about the last time you truly prioritized yourself. Not in a surface-level way like buying new clothes or getting a haircut, but in a deeper, more meaningful way. Did you take a mental health day? Journal your thoughts? Spend quality time doing something that lights you up? Let me share an exercise with you. Close your eyes, or keep them open if you prefer, and visualize yourself as a child. Think about how innocent, curious, and full of potential you were. Would you treat that little version of yourself the way you sometimes treat your adult self? Probably not. So why do we hold ourselves to such impossibly high standards now? Self-love is a practice. It doesn't happen overnight. Start small. Speak kindly to yourself. Celebrate your wins, no matter how tiny. Set boundaries with people who drain you. Surround yourself with positivity, whether that's uplifting books, inspiring podcasts, or supportive friends. And here's a challenge for you. Over the next week, write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself each day. At the end of the week, come back to the comments and tell me how it felt. Did it shift your perspective? Did it bring you closer to loving yourself? 4. Breaking free from external validation. Now, let's talk about breaking free from a need for external validation. This is a tough one because society conditions us to seek approval from others. Social media amplifies this pressure tenfold. Likes, comments, followers, they become metrics for our self-worth. But here's the truth. Those numbers don't define you. Your value isn't determined by how many hearts appear under your posts. Think about the most confident person you know. What makes them so magnetic? Chances are, it's not their looks or achievements. It's their ability to embrace who they are without apology. Confidence is attractive because it signals self-assurance. And guess what? You can cultivate that same confidence within yourself. Ask yourself, what would you do differently if you stopped caring what others thought? Would you pursue a passion project? Travel somewhere exotic? In a toxic friendship? Whatever it is, jot it down in the comments. Let's inspire each other to live authentically. 5. Building healthy relationships through self-love. When you learn to love yourself, something magical happens. You attract healthier relationships. People respond to energy. If you walk into a room radiating self-assurance and contentment, others will naturally gravitate toward you. On the flip side, if you're desperate for attention or constantly seeking reassurance, people pick up on that energy and it pushes them away. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and admiration. They thrive when both parties bring their best selves to the table. But here's the catch. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you haven't filled your own cup first, there won't be anything left to give. So, reflect on your current relationships. Are they balanced? Do you feel seen, heard, and valued? Or do you find yourself sacrificing your needs to keep the peace? Be honest with yourself and with us. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Closing thoughts. To wrap this up, I want to remind you of something important. You are enough, just as you are, right now, without needing to change a single thing. Loving yourself isn't always easy. It takes courage, patience, and practice, but it's the most rewarding journey you'll ever embark on. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one step you're going to take today to nurture your relationship with yourself? Will you journal, meditate, say no to something that doesn't serve you? Let me know in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, please share it with a friend who might need to hear this message. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, you deserve love, not just from others, but from yourself. Until next time, take care of you.